Welcome back, YouTube. I want to thank everybody that's been logging on, checking me out at Sexy$5526 on Facebook, sharing, giving your views. Always feel free to give your comments as well. Today's episode of Exposed, where the truth is revealed, we're going to be talking about Detroit love and relationships. And my guest today is Dr. Timothy Love, who has his own practice, Dr. Love. How you doing today, Mr. Love?
Oh, I'm fine, and it's very, very nice to be here.
Great. Are you dating, single, or married?
At this present moment, I'm dating.
Okay. Ladies, you hear that? So what's the longest relationship you've been in?
I've been in one for around 7 years. It used to be with my ex. She goes by the name of Eliza, but she's now, deceased since last year, so I'm moving on.
Sorry to hear that. Name your favorite celebrity couple and why.
Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
I love them.
They're real open, and they like to do whatever they want to do and don't care what the public think.
Okay, they're into that sucking blood stuff too.
Oh yeah, well, drinking.
Okay, it's cool. Okay, before we get into today's topic, I want to get up into some of the updates from last week. And I'm going to start with Dave Dean, where he last week did some cutbacks, layoffs, where he closed down libraries, zoos. He did a lot of layoffs, and so these were some of the things he was going to start to do to save Detroit. So Dave Bean also spoke out stating that he's going to be pretty sure that Detroit is not going to need a financial manager, nor will this happen in 60 days. Although he says we are out of danger for now, this does not mean the long-term future is not still in hot water. I also believe if we begin to save now and invest back into the city, we will save our city, Detroit. So that's what we're moving and pushing towards. Moving on, I want to talk about the chief of police as well, along with the FBI. Last week I gave you updates on, was going to be investigating and checking out Backpage.com, which is a page where women going to escort. On this page, there were 4 women found dead here in Detroit. Linked to this page, there were 2 cousins that were found in the trunk of the car, as well as 2 blocks over, 2 other women found in a burned out garage. The 4th victim has been identified last week as Natasha Curtis as well. So it's important that all these updates and information that you hear on here, go to these websites at fox2.com and you can get all that information and check it out as well about these women, and try to get these men or this man off the street. Moving on, we have 2 mothers from Detroit still missing their 2 daughters as well, who are not connected to any of the Backpage disappearances. We have one, Kalisha Madden, a.k.a. Mocha, who has been missing for over a month, as well as Sharice Gordon. Both mothers have been looking for their daughter. Now, Kalisha Madden has been missing since morning a month ago. She was leaving work. She left with 2 men, one on crutches, and has not been seen. Now, during this time, the mother has been crying out for any assistance that she can receive, any information that anyone knows. They can go on to Kalisha Madden's or Pamela Madden's page on Facebook.com. Check out Sharice Gordon's mother and talk to her, give any condolences, any information, contact police. So it's important that you guys, Detroit, do what you can to get these people off the street. We women are very unsafe here now, and we women need to start looking out for each other, watching each other's back, and anything that we see that is dangerous that's going on, or anything that we can do, it's best for us to start talking and speaking now. Moving on, I want to talk about also little Bianca Jones, who was missing over a month ago as well. she has not been seen or found or any new updates. They stopped the search over, I believe, 2 weeks ago. So it's important that any information or any details that can be given, they're contacting the police about this. The police have been trying to receive a warrant to search the father or anyone home that knows anything about Bianca Jones' disappearance. But this warrant will take anywhere over 30 days. So anything that we, Detroit, can do to help this mother or this child return home, or just to relieve some of these parents' hearts and just to know that their loved one was thought about, is important. Moving on to my one of my last updates of the day, I want to talk about today's Love and Hip Hop, where last week we talked about how Chrissy received the ring from Jim and how it was so good to see that, you know, her and Jim's relationship was moving to the next level after being together so long. Well, tonight's episode, you will see Chrissy and Yandy having an altercation where you might see Chrissy kicking ass again. But this time will she be roaring in Jim's career. Chrissy has problems with Yandy because of some of the things stated, saying that she questioning Jim about the things that he does for Chrissy, the gifts he buys her. So I want to know your view. What do you think? And, you know, keep logging on and checking out SexyDollar5526 at YouTube.com or Facebook.com, and check out, give your comments and your views. So, also, in some of our other updates, one of our last updates of tonight, the Lions lost Detroit, which was kind of sad.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, at least we were at the playoffs. And the Lions do, and I do believe it's important that they need to start working hard and playing less. You know, keep staying motivated, keep pushing towards, you know, doing better. You are doing better, but just keep working hard.
They'll be good next year, you know. Everybody watch out for the Lions.
Yeah, everything will work just as planned. So, moving on to today's topic, Detroit love and relationship, with my guest, Timothy Love. So, today, I want to ask you a few questions about Detroit love because we have so many different issues here. Your advice is deeply needed.
Oh, yeah. Always glad to give it.
Okay. So how long do you think a person should date before sex?
Well, I mean, it usually varies on the, you know what I'm saying, person, but most you know what I'm saying, folks that I've done a survey on, they usually say it usually takes 3 to 5 dates, you know. But I know how most, you know, girls say it's a 3-month rule. I mean, yeah, sometimes, but that's not really usual, you know. Nowadays, it's just a few days or so.
Yeah, and we girls, we basically like, we go on how we feel with that person, how comfortable, if we like you or not most of the time, you know, because I've heard stories of giving it up the first night to maybe 5 to 6, 7 months, and the guy just has to deal with it. So how long should a person have a relationship before marriage?
Well, I believe a person should have a long-lasting, you know, relationship. Probably has to be like 2 to 3 years, you know what I mean? But you also have to get engaged, so that may add like another year, so maybe like 4 years or so, 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, and the average person can be engaged up to 2 years, so that's always good playing time to get to know a person, fill them out, see if that's the one you want to spend your life with. So, do you believe that race has anything to do with relationships and how they work?
Yes, I do think that race has a lot to do with it, actually, you know, I mean, because everyone has this notion in like the way back in their head that says, I want to be with my own kind, because they don't want the world to see him as a person who may date that race, you know.
And every race deals with their relationship
Oh,
differently. Yeah. So that's something also that people need to understand when in these relationships. So should people accept cheating to stop loneliness? And if no, then why?
I mean, I don't really think that you should accept cheating for like any reason, but especially one is to stop, being lonely. I mean, say if like that's the case, then you need to get on and get one who won't cheat on you. You know what I mean?
So true.
Get the hell out of that relationship, basically.
I mean, you can be single and do you versus being with someone and still being alone. So
right.
It's better to, pick up and do your own thing anyway.
Of course.
To you, what's better, sex, love? And if love, why?
Well, I mean, I think that love is always better. That's the typical answer. I mean, it's always good to have, sex if you're single. But say if like you are in love, then that means that the sex is automatically good. Plus, you also get that close, feeling, and everybody likes to be close.
And sex is amazing. I mean, we all love that, but I mean, you need some type of closeness, somewhere to go, someone to confide in, someone to talk to. So it is always needed in any kind of relationship to go further, not to always stay that one, place in your relationship. So name 2 couples you are most alike in your relationships.
Well, I think I could compare myself to most likely like a T.I. and a Tiny and Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
Okay,
cool. A little bit of both.
Cool,
a little bit of column A.
So a little freaky in the bedroom and a little sluggish in the streets, huh?
Well, not just a little bit.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So why do you think relationships don't last here in Detroit?
Well, money here is usually the motive, you know what I mean? You gotta have money to have a good relationship here. It's sad to say, but that's the way of the world's life.
Yeah, and here's money has always been the root of our evil here because, like I said, we can be up and we can be down, and sometimes when we're down, we seem to bring others down with us. Our relationships don't prosper because no one seems to be happy without being flashy or, doing them. And even though money makes the world go round, we need love to survive on this earth. We're put here to have happiness and share that happiness with someone else. So why do you think since we know relationships don't last here in Detroit, and why? Because of money. Is money more important than love here in Detroit? And if yes, why?
I mean, I believe that it goes, hand in hand. They like even Steven, because you have to have, both and stuff to have a successful relationship. Now, you can always be a sugar daddy and then just have the money, but if like you ain't loving the person, then you just tricking off your money basically.
And I believe that's enough said because love and money, they go in hand. You can't have one without the other. But you should be able to find a happy medium with or without one or the other. So, moving on. Is abuse okay for love and abuse of any kind?
No, I don't think it is okay even for love, Obviously, if you don't have, some spats and some verbal arguments and stuff, but you can't border on the issue of, verbal or, physical abuse, though.
Yes. And abuse of any kind, mentally, physically, emotionally, women that go through these things need people to talk to. So many people are afraid to express what they're going through or don't want to acknowledge the abuse. Right. So there's different hotlines where women can go on to talk to people and get assistance with that. And it's important to do that to keep your self-esteem and your mental frame up. So it's about that time again, Mr. Love, and I want to thank you for coming out and sharing your advice. And for our last question of tonight, what is the main reason men are afraid to commit? And what can women do to change that problem?
Well, I don't think that men are really afraid to, commit, but it's just that some men take longer than others, you know what I'm saying? And like women, they have to be ready to be, real patient and then just stand by their man. It's not really a lot that a woman can do. You can't really rush a man to be, to be in love, with you. You gotta wait for that to happen.
So true, so true. And I feel like if a man loves you, it's not a lot of trying. He'll start to show. And if you realize that it's no showing coming towards you, it's time to move on. So I want to thank my guest, Dr. Timothy Love, for coming out, giving us his advice. And keep watching Exposed, where the truth is revealed every week. Give me your comments. Keep sharing. And why don't you let us know in Detroit know what you're going to be doing and anything that you're working on here in Detroit?
Oh, yeah. You can just always come to see me over here at my practice, you know what I'm saying? Over here on Never Street in Fake Lane.
Okay, is that right down the street from Catch Me When You Can?
Oh, yeah. You can find me around there.
And that's what I'm talking about. So keep logging on, keep watching. But before we go, I want to hit you with tonight's Fact Finder, which we'll be doing every week. Something that you can know that is a fact that you can go onto that website and find out about yourself. And tonight's Fact Finder is the top shortest marriages and the top 5 longest marriages. And the top 5 shortest marriages, I'm going to start from 5 to giving you to the top shortest marriage. Number 5 is Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Exposed, who were married for 4 months. And number 4 is 2 couples that, a couple that a lot of people didn't believe that probably would be this far down the list, but are, which is Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphrey.
I didn't expect that one.
No, they were married for 3 months. Number 3 was Eddie Murphy and Tracy Edmonds, who were married for 15 days. Which everybody knows Eddie Murphy was known for taking Tracy Edmonds from Babyface back then. But
wow,
yeah, it's crazy.
Surprise.
That marriage didn't last at all. So number 2 on that list is Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman, who marriage lasted for 9 days. Now, number 1 on the top 5 shortest marriages is Britney Spears and Jason Alexander, who marriage lasted for 5.5 hours.
Okay.
So, the longest married couple has been married for 85 years. And you can find out about that and more information as far as the shortest marriages on blogeducationconnection.com. Now, the top 5 celebrity couples that's been married the longest, I'm going to give you starting at 5 with Heidi Klum and Seal, who's been married since 2005. Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, who's been married since 97. Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, who's been married since 1999. Jay-Z and Beyonce, who's been together since 2005. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, stated by them they've been together for ages. You can find out about them and more celebrities and more information at fashion69.com/top/5-Hollywood. So I want to thank everybody once again who's been watching and checking us out, and keep watching it. Deuces.